And today we're going to take a look at the best ways to help the guild. This mainly refers to my guild, as I'm taking a look at it and taking an in-depth look at it. But I suppose if you're looking at it, this video, you can take whatever you want from it and add it into your guild. So one of the first things we're going to take a look at today is inflation of GP that we don't want to have happen. See how I have 2.6 million GP? Well, in reality, I probably is sitting around maybe the 2.2 mark in GP. That is very useful. The rest of it's inflated and probably going a little bit overboard, but there was a time when the guild needed extra GP to make territory wars to get Zetas when we win. So a couple of us took one for the team and inflated our GP, well beyond its limits. And we have sort of a lot of tunes here that shouldn't be this high gear. So some of the things we can do here is, from now on, I'm not going to unlock a character unless I'm using it. Even if I've got the 330 shards needed, if I'm not using that character, I'm not going to unlock it and I'm not going to put any gear on it. Then what else I can do is I can go in here and I'll have a look at our mods, and all the tunes that I'm not using and won't even make it in scrap squads for territory wars and such, where I've got mods and stuff that shouldn't really be on these tunes. As we get further down here, I have a fair few tunes. They seem to keep releasing more and more every day. It's hard to keep up anymore. There's a time where I thought I was catching up, but now it looks like I'm getting left behind again. They want us to pay for it. So I don't use Imperial Super Commando. I don't use Cassian. I don't use Gar Saxon, Jango Fett, or Amagundi, or or however you're supposed to pronounce that. Now, Jango Fett I'll probably use in the future, but I'm not going to use him now. So just as a reference here, I'll go in, I'll remove the mods off him, and later on I'll remove all the mods off all tunes later on, otherwise it'll take too long to get through this video. But this is how you do it. So you're not using this character, remove the mods and lower your GP. It's going to lower the guild's GP, but in reality that's going to give us better opponents in territory wars anyway. So we've confirmed that one. And we'll take a look at the next thing. Alright, so now I'm going to teach you how to build an actual squad. Now, it's pretty simple. We're going to take a look at Jedis. I've already unlocked them, so you just have to visualize here when I explain what I'm talking about. One of the best teams that you can use in Heroic Sith Raid, and this is what the guild's looking towards moving into, so to help the guild along, you want to try and build yourself at least one Heroic Sith team. Here's one here, and if you want to learn more, jump on Discord and start chatting with people, because that's the best way to learn the game. These people know what they're talking about, and they will help you very, very much. Now, our Heroic Sith Raid team is Bastila Shan, General Kenobi, Master Yoda, Jolly Bindu or Hermit Yoda. I'm going to go with Hermit Yoda because I'll have him 7-star first, and Ezra Bridger. It doesn't have to be these specific Jedi. You can learn the other variations if you jump on Discord as well. But they're the ones we're going to go for. So if you was to build this team, focus on unlocking your leader and then your damage dealer. Then General Kenobi himself will come from participating in the guild events. Jump into every raid and try and score as high as you can. The higher you score, the more shards you get, and the quicker you unlock him, and the quicker you'll get him to 7-star. Hermit Yoda, he's a little bit harder to unlock for you guys. Jolly Bindu will be easier. I just started on Hermit Yoda a lot earlier than Jolly. You want to put a Zeta on Bastila Shan if you can, but it's not necessarily needed. You'll still score a pretty decent damage without it, but try and work towards a Zeta as well. But definitely one of the first people that you need to focus is her Grandmaster Yoda. Once you've unlocked him and you 7-star him, you want to try and get him as high as you can in the gear. Now, I'm not talking about going to gear 9, gear 10, thinking that's high and it's going to help you in a heroic Sith raid, because unfortunately, guys, it's not. You need gear 11, very minimum on most characters, and gear 12 on a lot as well. Some people won't survive, especially the squishy ones, if they don't have their gear 12. So what you to do to focus that is to select a character, and go in there and click that favourite button there and turn them on to favourite and focus that person's gear, or 1 or 2 people at a time's gear solely. And if you do this, you'll bank up all your other gears and it makes it quicker to unlock the next person. Right? So don't go just throwing gear on anybody that's available. Just put it down on the person that you're working on. See how I have clicked 4 of my favourites there? They're the people whose shards and gear I'm going to start working towards. And I have a lot of favourites ticked because I've got a lot of things that I need to get accomplished. But I am only working on a couple at a time. I'm doing R2-D2's gear at the moment. He's on gear 11 going to 12. I'm also going for Bastilla Shan's shards. I'm going straight for her for 7-star. And then I'm going to continue on to Jolie Bindu, etc., etc. Now, for all the higher level gear people, higher GP people in the guild, or some people that have unlocked Enfy's Nest, right, we want to gear her, or him, whichever it is, as high as possible. This character is unbelievably good in territory wars and can solo teams himself. So I've marked him as favourite, and that's whose gear I'm going to go for next after I gear 12 R2-D2. And I would like anybody in the guild who has Enfy's Nest unlocked, doesn't matter about the stars, all we need to do is gear it up, get it above 6,000 GP, and get it in there on territory wars. I've actually seen videos where Enfy's Nest can solo Phoenix Squad on attack by himself or herself. The next thing you can do, and the best thing you can do to help yourself, is jump on Discord and communicate with people. There are a lot of experts on there and they know what they're talking about. If you don't have, if you're a guild that doesn't have Discord, I suggest you make one and you try and get in contact with other Star Wars guilds on Discord and communicate with them as well, because they have expert advice on how to do the next step that you're looking at doing. Whether it be heroic Rancor, or looking at your first heroic tank, or moving your way up to heroic Sith. And who knows what comes next, guys? Who knows what comes next? Because there's going to be another raid. I suspect there's going to be ships involved. And I think we all need to strengthen our fleet. What you really could do to help yourself is focus one of the superpowers in the game. Unlock Revan, unlock JTR, go for Grandmaster Yoda, who's an absolute beast. He can crit for over 100,000 on just one hit, and that's just before he gets buffed sometimes. Commander Luke Skywalker, another absolute powerhouse. General Kenobi, everybody's going to get that as long as they participate in guild events. So get in there, score as high as you can, and try and unlock that General Kenobi, because he's a superpower as well. Han Solo. Now, moving on. We have a fair few Han Solos unlocked, and if we unlock a few more 7-star Han Solos, we're going to be able to sim a Rancor. And that actually means that everybody in the guild's going to receive a much higher reward box than we normally get for scoring just a tap or a 0. Whereas, you normally only see 1 or 2 people take out a Rancor because they're so weak and they go down pretty easy. Anybody that's working on First Order, one of the things you need to do when you're building a squad is to make sure you get the leader and you put in the powerhouse that comes with it. So if you're building a first order team, you want to get Kylo Ren Unmasked, and you definitely want to get Executioner, because without those two, the team doesn't work as well. You want to put a Zeta on his leadership, and away you go. Another good example there is Bastilishan. You put a Zeta on her and it makes a Jedi team, no matter how weak the Jedi is, seem like an absolute boss. So you want to try and be very selectful when you pick a Zeta, and be gear selective when you're gearing your characters. Remember to only gear the 1 or 2, maybe 3 at a time, and focus them very hard, unless of course you're buying all your gear and you're whaling your way to the top. Then by all means go for it. But what do you get when you actually buy gems in this game? You don't get gear, you don't get tunes, you don't get shards, you don't get any of that. It boils down to you buying time. So when you buy gems on the game, spend them wisely, because if you buy outright pieces of gear, it's not as cost effective as using refreshes each day to accumulate the pieces slowly. And if you keep doing refreshes every day, your gems will dwindle down, and you'll either buy more or you'll just go back to having that 100 or 150 odd a day that you get from daily challenges. So spend your gems wisely. Don't just rush in and buy the packs and such, especially when a new character comes out. I definitely recommend just wait until it's free to play to collect the shards, and then if you want to buy gems, then it'll be much more cost effective to farm the shards with refreshes and gems than it will be to buy the character packs that come out when characters first come out. Please don't do that. It costs hundreds of dollars in the end, because it's very tricky and deceiving. And that should cover some of the basics that'll get you through this week, and I'll try and post up updates on where the guild should be heading and what we should be doing at each step of the way. So happy gaming, everyone, and good luck with everything. I'm Darth Goku. Good night.